Atlantic Television Network coming to you live here in Port Harcourt. And it is the Global Bulletin at 9 p.m. Welcome. My name is Bon Woke. Now let's look at the headlines. Shaibu explains his urge to succeed Governor Baseki. Governor Boni escapes death as Boko Haram members attack convoy. Reps want Tinubu to sign Armed Forces Trust Fund bills. NCAC boss advises FG to 45 naira. Recreation vacates premature babies from Gaza hospital. Angelo Curry shares experience after escaping assassination attempt. And from sports, Ahmed Musa commends ex-NFF boss Amaju Pinnick. Now the story is in details. Edo State Deputy Governor, Mr. Philip Shaibu, said that the need to implement practical governance to address the developmental challenges of the state informed his decision to vie for governorship elections slated for 2024. Shaibu, who stated this at a media parley with the Edo State Journalists Forum in Abuja, said his wealth of experience, capacity and knowledge are some of the factors that distinguish him from anyone desirous of succeeding Governor Godwin Obaseki, whose second tenure in office comes to an end next year. As I said, the people of Edo State are in dire need of practical governance and cannot afford to experiment again with someone who does not understand the politics and needs of Edo State. From Akwa Ibom comes a report that Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Omar Eno says he has approved an update of the state social register and warned that it should not include names of politicians. The governor, who said this during the government house monthly prayer service in Uyo, stressed that the register was only meant for the vulnerable indigents of the state to enable the government reach out to them whenever the need arises, adding that it was strictly meant for the less privileged indigents, irrespective of their party affiliations. He also said the state government will adopt the register for its intervention programs and call for massive sensitization of citizens on the imperatives of the register, and stressed that local government areas that are greedy on primary health care as their choice project should not alter the existing template by offering an entirely new site for the state government to construct a healthcare facility when there is an existing one in the community. Chidera Kenneth, a young man who was described as a student of Abia State Polytechnic, Aba, was allegedly drowned in Umuchime River in Umuahia. The student was also described as the only male child of his parents, drowned in the river at the weekend, trying to cool off during a hot afternoon, with some of his friends who came with him for a swimming expedition. Eyewitness said the victim, Chidera, did not understand the tide and depth of the river before jumping in to swim, and hailed from Uzuakoli in Bende local government area of the state for his fatal end. The Abia State Police Command and the authorities of the Abia State Polytechnic are yet to confirm the death of the student, even at the time his lifeless body was removed from the river. From Osun State government has dismissed report that Governor Demola Adeleke has removed the chief judge and appointed an acting chief judge, clarifying that the governor had only forwarded the resolution of the House of the Assembly and recommendation for an acting appointment to the Chief Justice of the Federation for decision and action. A statement issued by Oluomo Kolakbo Alimi, Commissioner of Information and Public Enlightenment, said Governor Adeleke only intimated the Chief Justice of Nigeria of the recommendation of the House that the Chief Judge should step aside following a series of petitions made against the sitting chief judge of the state. The statement also said Governor Adeleke has not appointed any judicial officer as acting chief judge, and nobody has been sworn in as acting chief judge of Osun State. Eight people, including 7 students of the Kwara State Polytechnic, Ilori, Kwara State, escaped gas explosion from filling station. The State Fire Service said many sustained varying degrees of injury during the incident. The fire incident occurred at Destiny Villa, Dola Bimbola Street, Eleko Yongan area close to the main campus of the Polytechnic in the Ilori East local government area of the state. The head of the department, media and publicity of the State Fire Service, Hassan Adekule, said that the fire started when a gas attendant at a nearby gas shop was refilling a gas cylinder, positioned several meters above the ground level, while the cylinder fell and exploded. Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State says members of his cabinet who allegedly betrayed him during the November 11 governorship election in the state will not go unpunished. The governor accused some members of his cabinet of betrayal before and during the election. Bello, who also spoke during a closed-door meeting with stakeholders in the All Progressive Congress in Lokoja, was visibly angry and maintained that he would cut off his fingers if they decided to hinder him from going far, while accusing many of his allies of betraying him because of his choice of Usman Ododo as his successor. This is coming after Ododo was declared winner of the governorship election, beating off challenges from Dino Milaya of the People's Democratic Party and Social Democratic Party Mori Ajaka. Bello described some of the so-called allies in unprintable words, saying they sold him out, and warned that if ever heard the leaders threaten any of their stakeholders, subordinates, he would deal with them severely. Former member of the House of Representatives, Sani Takori, has advised Governor Dawood Lawal of Zamfara State to implement reports submitted to him by 2 security committees headed by former Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Abubakar, and former Deputy Governor Ibrahim Wakala, in order to end insecurity in the state. Takori, who represented Bakum Gumi Federal Constituency of Zamfara State between 2007 and 2011, said that there are some vital recommendations in the committee's report that can help in the fight against banditry if implemented by the state government. The federal lawmaker urged the government to always collaborate with retired military and security personnel for useful advice on how to address insecurity in the state. Governor of Yobe State, Mala Boni, narrowly escaped death when suspected Boko Haram fighters ambushed his security convoy, killing 1 policeman and injuring 6 others along the Jakana-Moinok Expressway in Borno State. The security team, it was learned, was on the convoy that escorted the governor to Maiduguri for the 24th convocation ceremony of the University of Maiduguri, where Vice President Kashim Shettima was conferred with an honorary doctorate degree, and unknown to the terrorists. After the event, security team returned to Yobe, but without governor, who stayed behind in Maiduguri preparatory for another trip to Abuja for an unofficial engagement. Confirming the attack, the spokesman for the governor, Mama Mohammed, said Governor Boni's security details ran into the ambush and the terrorists fired some shots, but security escorting the governor's official vehicles back to the Maturu exchanged fire with them, while 3 policemen sustained injuries. Governor Kara Mufwang of Plateau State has described the verdict of the appeal court that nullified his election as a temporary setback that will not deter him from repositioning the state. He expressed strong optimism that the mandate overwhelmingly given to him by the citizens will be restored. as he has instructed his legal team to file an appeal at the Supreme Court. A statement signed by his Director of Press and Public Affairs, Gyang Bere, cautions citizens of the state and supporters of the People's Democratic Party to remain calm and assure them that as long as God remains on the throne, the mandate of the people will be preserved and protected. He restated his commitment to the rule of law while assuring the people that there is light at the end of the tunnel. This is coming after the Court of Appeal in Abuja has sacked the governor of Plateau State, Caleb Mutfwang, of the People's Democratic Party, which had 525,299 votes, while the candidates of All Progressive Congress, Nentewe Goshwe, hold 481,370 votes in the March 18 governorship election in the state. Goshwe challenged the victory of Mutfwang at the tribunal, claiming that the governor was not validly nominated and sponsored by his party, and there was non-compliance with the Electoral Act in the election. While a three-member panel of the tribunal headed by Justice R. Irele Ifije, in a unanimous decision, dismissed the petition for lacking in merit. Several terrorists were killed during an air operation conducted by the air component of Operation Wild Punch at the Gabi local government area of Kaduna State. The operation was carried out following an intelligence reported that the terrorist kingpin identified as Boderi and his members were at the location. A statement released by the Director of Public Relations and Information, Nigerian Air Force Air Commodore Edward Gabwek, said the air operations were successfully prompting the service to embark on another operation targeted at Boderi's brother, adding that the two brothers were responsible for several attacks on communities in the state and its environs. Founder and President of Children of African Leadership and Values Development Initiative, Mr. Bamidele Salam, is calling for a strong national education system to address the problem of out-of-school children. Salam, who disclosed this on the sideline of the 4-day National Children's Leadership Conference to mark the 2023 Universal Children's Day in Abuja, said that a strong national education system will engender early learning and innovation in adolescents. Also said the welfare and security of citizens, especially the Nigerian child, cannot be guaranteed now or later if the menace of out-of-school children is not addressed, adding that the conference will focus on the discussions and deliberations centered on identifying causes and making recommendations on how to tackle challenges facing the education, welfare, and security of the Nigerian child. Federal government has enrolled 18 directors in the Federal Civil Service to release 4,068 inmates as part of efforts to decongest Nigerian custodian centers. Those to be freed, according to him, were those who have served various terms of imprisonment with an option of fine or compensation. Dr. Lubin will disclose this during an event held at the Medium Security Custodian Center in Kuje, Federal Capital Territory. Commended the Nigerian Correctional Services for their dedication towards humane custody and national security. You're watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We'll be right back after this short break. Don't go away. It is your Global News at 9 p.m. Stay glued. You're welcome back. You're still tuned to the Global News at 9 from the Atlantic Television Network. Now the rest of the stories. President Bola Tinubu is celebrating wisdom, foresight, and patriotism. We continue to inspire leaders aiming to make a difference in Nigeria and beyond. The special advisor to the President of Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, who disclosed President Bola Tinubu's birthday message to Jonathan in a statement he signed titled, President Tinubu Celebrates Icon of Democracy. Jonathan, as his six, commended him for his unique demonstration of statesmanship and distinguishing achievement as a leader, who gave Nigeria and Africa a pride of place in democratic law by ending the vitiating paradigm of those who seek to hold onto power by all means. President Bola Tinubu also said Jonathan shares a joyous occasion with Nigeria's icons of democracy, whose humility continues to inspire hope for governance in the country and on the continent of Africa. House of Representatives is urging President Bola Tinubu, as a matter of national importance, assent to the two bills recently reintroduced and passed by the Assembly to aid the ongoing fight against insecurity in the country. The House is of the opinion that assenting the bills will provide support for the armed forces and the defense. The Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives Benjamin Okeze-Carlo, who disclosed this while speaking at the closing ceremony of a two-day post-inauguration retreat organized for members of the House Committee on Defense by the National Defense College, Abuja. He said President Bola Tinubu usually gives attention to activities of the National Assembly House will continue to work for the overall good of the citizens of the country, stressing that the security of lives and properties of Nigerians is one of the significant mandates of the government. This is coming after the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria, the CON Bill, and the Armed Forces Trust Bill were passed during the previous administration by the 9th Assembly, but could not receive assent from former President Muhammad Buhari, and also assured that the lawmakers will ensure that all needed logistics. Up next is business news. National Council for Arts and Culture has advised the federal government to make intentional efforts to restructure the country's economy and fortify the naira by utilizing the country's cultural assets. A statement by NCAC Director General Olusegun Ronsiwe said there has been an extraordinary decline in the value of the Nigerian naira, which started during the SARP period and is still ongoing, adding that the development calls for a thorough reorientation of the values and has also put the country's cultural ideals to the test. Ronsiwe observed that the nation's principles were correct during the time when the naira held significant economic influence on the international stage, while attitudes were positive and other personal dispositions were supportive of developmental aspirations, especially when a nation committed to agriculture as the mainstay of the economy now aggressively embark on solid mineral exploration to drive a diversified economy. Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission has entered into partnership with Abuja Chamber of Commerce and Industry to address the lack of integrity among contractors involved in procurement processes. Head Procurement ICPC Shintema Binga, who disclosed the inauguration of the ACCI ICPC Procurement Integrity and Transparency Training Partnership, described the lack of integrity in procurement processes by contractors, adding that partners in the Chamber of Commerce and the Center for International Private Enterprise have decided to make procurement contractors to come up to date with integrity in the procurement process through this partnership. Minister of Defense Alhaji Mohammed Badaru said the solid minerals development Dr. Oladele Adeleke, as well as the Minister of State Defense, Alhaji Bello Matawalle, are requesting for adequate security measures to protect mining fields that will yield revenue for the country. The Minister of Defense maintained that it is collaborating with the Minister of Solid Minerals Development on securing the mining fields across Nigeria to make the sector realize its goal of contributing sustainably to government. The Minister of Defense, Alhaji Mohammed Badaru, and his counterpart, Alhaji Bello Matawalle, Minister of State Defense, gave this assurance during a courtesy visit to the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Oladele Adeleke, in Abuja. The Minister of Solid Minerals Development, the Minister of Defense, started the concept, assuring that it will receive the necessary boost from the military. You're still watching the news on Atlantic Television Network. Up next, international tidbits moved with help from the UN and World Health Organization, which warns that hundreds of critically ill patients remain stranded. Hundreds of people have left Al-Shifa since the Israeli military moved in to carry out what they call a precise and targeted operation against Hamas. And it comes after the Qatari that only very minor obstacles remain to Israeli hostages being released. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says nothing has yet been agreed and ruled out a full ceasefire, while the U.S. says officials are working to agree a deal. But Hamas and the U.S. were close to agreeing the release of some hostages in return for a pause in fighting. The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza says more than 12,300 people have been killed in the territory since Israel began its campaign against Hamas. On Kiev for the second time in a row, head of the administration, Shehi Boko, said Ukraine's air defense systems hit around 10 drones in Kiev and its outskirts, and no critical damage or casualties have been reported, while Russian authorities said a Ukrainian drone heading for Moscow was shot down on Saturday. The Defense Ministry said the uncrewed aircraft was intercepted over the Bogorisky district on the northeastern outskirts of the capital. And Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin said there was no damage or casualties, but recent air raids against Ukrainian targets follow a wave of attacks the night before, with Kiev saying it has shot down 29 out of 38 Iranian-made Shahid drones launched by Russia. Responding in his nightly address, Mr. Zelensky said, "Your accuracy, guys, is literally life for Ukraine. I wonder that's a winter which is Russia tried to make its attacks more powerful, other than Russia piling missiles for a winter assault on Ukraine's energy infrastructure." Ukraine said nearly 21,000 people in the Donetsk region have no electricity, and 63 settlements are cut off in the Zaporozhye region, while in the last winter, Russian attacks left millions of Ukrainians without power for hours in freezing temperature. Now to entertainment news. Marvin Records artist Charles Chibueze Chukwu, also known as Crayon, is thanking God for not granting him a successful career when he was first signed in 2019 by Don Jazzy. While comparing his career journey to that of Job in the Bible, Crayon stated that God was probably testing him like Job. The singer, in a post on his official X, explained that having a successful music career now is more satisfying than it would have been then. Nollywood actress and singer Angelo Corrie says she suffered from severe post-traumatic stress disorder after she escaped an assassination attempt in December 2019. Says she battled with insomnia and acute stress disorder over 3 years and was constantly under security surveillance. This is coming after Angela Correa announced via Instagram in 2019 that she narrowly escaped an assassination attack and 10 bullets were removed from her head and 2 bullets close to her eyes. Here now is the sports news. Asisat Oshola has won the UEFA Women's Champions League Goal of the Week award. Oshola won the award with her superb bicycle kick goal against Benfica. Barcelona Femini won the match day 1 fixture 5-0, while Asisat Oshola has won the UEFA Women's Championship League Goal of the Week award. Oshola won the award with her superb bicycle kick against Benfica, while Barcelona Femini won the match on fixture 5-0. Nigerian came after the hour mark and scored with her first touch of the game. The 29-year-old also won the same award on match day 1 last season, while Barcelona are defending the Champions League crown they won for the second time last season. Super Eagles captain Ahmed Musa is commending the former president of Nigerian Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick, who helped to ensure his name was included in Nigeria's 2018 FIFA World Cup squad. According to Musa, Pinnick had to call Gennaro Roy, who was the Super Eagles at the time, to ensure the German tactician included his name in the World Cup squad, even though the forward was not playing at Leicester City. The 21-year-old spoke in Lagos during the ceremony to unveil the team's "Let's Do It Again" mantra in their bid to win a 4th AFCON title in Ivory Coast next year. And that's the global news for tonight. But before we go, another look at the major stories. Shaibu explains his urge to succeed Governor Basiki. Governor Buni escapes death as Boko Haram members attack convoy. Reps want Tinubu to sign Army Armed Forces Trust Fund bill. NCAC boss advises FG to 45 naira. Red Crescent vacates premature babies